Curtis Marshall of Australia, perhaps one that could disrupt that top three. We're going to take you through all 13 athletes with the live band accompanying. Robert Sabado of Poland is up next. He won the national championships over Piotr Lisek. Wang Bakai of China did his best jump since 2019 to qualify for this final. He was second at the Chinese national championships. He'll jump first. Thibaut Collet, the 23-year-old Frenchman, in his first global final. He's going to jump last. He's going to be 13 out of all these competitors to attempt each height. Zhao Jie of China equalled the Chinese national record in June with 5 meters 82, and he is the Chinese champion this year. Zach McWhorter of the United States is up next. Performance of his life to take second at the USA Championships. That got him his automatic spot in this team over the likes of Sam Kendricks and Casey Lightfoot, the new American record holder. Ben Broders of Belgium is here in his third consecutive World Championship final. He'll be jumping 12th in the jumping order. Claudio Stecchi of Italy is up next. He equalled his coach's national indoor record this season, 5:82, the mark he set a few months ago. Ersu Shashma of Turkey is an Olympic finalist. He was also 8th in Eugene last time round. Piotr Lisek is a 3-time World Championship medalist representing Poland. Curtis Marshall back in his first global final since 2017. He is the Commonwealth Games champion from last year. He's increased his personal best all the way up to 5:95 this season. Ernest John Obiena is the bronze medalist in 2022, representing the Philippines. He holds their national record as well. The only other man apart from Mondo Duplantis to have gone over 6 meters this season. Christopher Nilsson of the United States, our penultimate athlete being introduced today. Silver in Tokyo, silver in Eugene. He's saying, that's me, I'm here to represent my nation. The final athlete, the Olympic champion, the world record holder, Mondo Duplantis of Sweden. He's on 5 consecutive titles. Nobody would bet against this guy. We've seen a few shock results and very few title defenders, given that the last World Championships was only last year. Wang took 3 attempts to get over 5:75 in qualification, but he starts off with the first time clearance. Didn't qualify for the finals in Eugene and Tokyo. He was 9th back in 2019. I mentioned that 5:75 was an equal personal best in qualification, and actually the best jump done since qualifying for that final in 2019. Robert Sabera up next. Puff of the cheeks there for Sabera, maybe a bit of relief getting over his opening attempt with it. Good clearance. Nonetheless, pretty warm, pretty hot. It's been a long week for a lot of these athletes. They would have had holding camps elsewhere, likely in Europe. Maybe they would have come all the way over from their home base, McWhorter, of course, based in America. Oh, that's a shame for McWhorter. Foul in the first round. See the Chinese athlete looking over to the side towards the coaching teams, but I can see the windsock. It's halfway down the runway. It's not moving at all. So Yao Ji certainly not looking for input on whether he should attempt now, if the wind's quite right. It's more reminding himself of a coaching cue. The pole plant's so important. You've got to be super strong. lucky there. Yaoji. We've got some wonderful graphics on some of our streams we've been doing this season, and we have got the bar clearance. Well, we don't really need that for this Chinese athlete, Yaoji, because he just scraped it the whole way along, and he's lucky to leave the bar up there. But it doesn't matter, it will be registered as a first-time clearance. Early entry for Ernest John Obiena here. He looked good in qualification, but it's been a long old season waiting all the way here to the 26th of August for the men's pole vault final. And Obiena just said, I don't want to sit around anymore. Oh! Obiena does often let go of the pole earlier than some of the other athletes. Pole looked very, very soft. Either Obiena is feeling very strong and really attacked that, or perhaps it's a very soft pole, which is appropriate for an early height. Maybe this is just an extension of the warm-up for Obiena. The first-time clearance. Marshall as well coming in at 5:55. I had thought, given the relocation of this men's pole vault final to the back straight where we haven't been yet, perhaps the change in runway could be problematic for the athletes. They've practiced lots on the other runway. They would have trained on that in the training sessions prior to the championships and done the heats there. Oh, early failure for Marshall. Came down on the bar. So just rubbing his shins there. So Marshall joins McWhorter with a first-time failure. Sensational joint gold medal for Nina Kennedy alongside Katie Moon. And Marshall is from the same camp. He's having a chat with Paul Burgess. Ersu Shashma up next. Proved his own national record this year in July, up to 590. 590 is a really crucial point here in this competition. Trying to keep a clean scorecard as much as possible up to that 590, and then I think things will start to deteriorate there with failures. Oh, big clearance from Shashma. That was absolutely fine. Turkish athlete, lots of space there. That's a good way to start your competition. Claudia Stecchi up next. So Elisa Molinarolo become the first woman to ever go into a pole vault final representing Italy. Stecchi has been here before. He was 8th in 2019. It was a no mark in the Tokyo final for Stecchi, so this is better already. First time clearance, 5:55. Everybody coming in at 5:55. You would not see this on the circuit in a Diamond League. Mondo Duplantis starting at 5:55. And it's got to be about settling the nerves here for Duplantis, because it's certainly not about whether he's capable of 5:55. That was huge. Thought Shashma was miles over it for Turkey, but Mondo Duplantis could have pulled any sort of pose he liked at the top of that. Probably had enough space to touch his toes and still be above the bar. Chris Nilsson as well, everybody coming in at 5:55. Not as big as Duplantis, but fine. Piotr Lisek up next for Poland. He's one of 28 men to have ever cleared 6 meters, Lisek. And that was a nice big clearance as well. Very smooth off Lisek. Ben Broders up next in his 3rd global final. National record last year of 5.85. He'd love to try and hit that sort of mark here. There's lots of height there for Broders. He's come down on the bar. Struggled in qualification as well with his consistency. 3rd time clearance at 5.75. That was a couple of days ago. And Broders, let's have a look back at this. Plenty of height, just not quite, he's got his position correct, his high point over the bar. The athletes have got 2 options here. They can change the way they're taking off, or they can move the stand back. But any change in parameters when you're finely tuned can sometimes cause more harm than good. It might be better to leave all the controllables where they are and then change your approach. Hopefully Thibaut Collet is not aware of the wasp hanging out on his back. I'm sure it will be gone in a second. Collet so quick on the runway. No problems for Collet here. He goes over at 5.55. He's a final athlete in the jumping order, so we'll go around to 2nd attempts now. Zach McWhorter, Curtis Marshall. And Ben Broders. So Zach McWhorter just dropped out of grad school in June, saying he really wanted to dedicate himself full-time to pole vault. He was struggling to balance the 2, and he was rewarded almost straight away with that great 2nd place at USA's and a spot here in Budapest. 2nd attempt, 5.55. Oh, I was worried there for McWhorter. There was plenty of height, but he was close to the bar on the way up. Trajectory wasn't perfect, but he got his clearance. He's saying that he needs to shoot up in the air more, which means he needs to get upside down faster and go vertically. The side-on shot from the jump in real time, you could see he was just at an angle.
475. I'm feeling good.
Great to hear that feedback there from McWhorter. He said he's feeling good. Do I go 75? That's an indication perhaps it might change poles, or maybe he'll skip 5.75. That is the next height. Curtis Marshall, nervous start there with a foul, hit the bar on the way down. That's much better from Curtis Marshall. He'll be saying, why, oh why couldn't I do that just a few moments ago? Saying it's all in his head. I think there's been a change in pole, perhaps. No, I think that is the same pole, just looking for that orange flash a little bit further down. Just wondered if Marshall had decided he was using the wrong pole. Ben Broders up next. And that again, like Marshall, that's more like it. Big 2nd time clearance, sigh of relief, just relax and enjoy themselves. So with that clearance from Ben Broders, the bar goes up to 5.75. mark all these men hit in qualification. Big hopes the Chinese team with Gong Li Zhao as well. She goes in the women's shot put in a few moments. Huang Bukai managing a good second time clearance here. Sorry, first time clearance at his second height. He's safely over. That's better. Wasn't huge from Curtis Marshall, but it's another clearance, and that will build his confidence. Give him a bit of extra recovery as well. He seems to be whizzing through these attempts. Even though it's a 13-man field, it's moving very quickly. The more energy you can conserve as the bar goes on up, the better. And Marshall just earned himself a bit of extra recovery, a few less jumps with a first-time clearance of 5.75. I find those tools very helpful in helping them figure out quite how hard they can push their bodies. So the pistol's gone for the 4x4, the cone is out of the way, and Nielsen with his first attempt at 5.75. What will that pause have done to his composure? Much like a false start in a sprint event. Has he held his nerve? Did his mind wander? Not one bit. Nielsen, first time over 5.75. Close for McWhorter. He very nearly hit it on the way up there, so there's lots of adjustments going on for McWhorter. He joins the athletes clear at 5.75. His first attempt at 5.75. We then saw him discuss with his team, was it the right checkpoint when he took off? Obiena made a minor adjustment here. We saw on the previous attempt with his new 18-step run up. He's all the way off the back of the runway. Early pole release again from Obiena. It's not traditional. You'd expect the athletes to stay on the top of the pole, use all the energy from it, and then come off the top of it much closer to the bar. That's the traditional pole vaulting style. Have a look again at Obiena. Just let's go. Totally freewheeling up there. Got everything he wants out of the pole. He's got a second time clearance at 5.75. Zhao Ji up next. He is the #1 Chinese athlete on paper. At the moment, his teammate Huang Bukai has got the better of him. He's clear here at 5.75. Yao Zhe trying his best to join those men up the top of the pile. Yao Zhe does become the 8th man over 5.75. The relief pulls out. 3 attempts is not a place you want to be. There weren't good attempts from Zhao as well at the earlier heights, if we're honest. There was very little to give me confidence that the Chinese man was going to get over here, but he did it. And look at the graphic on the right-hand side. He was 7.6 centimetres clear at the top. Closest point to the bar coming at 5.6 centimetres. Stecchi up next. Oh, that's a nice clearance from Stecchi. Wriggled over it. Phew. The Italian gets another chance. Virtually nice, smooth clearance there, but not much to spare. 3 centimetres, the very closest he got, 0.4 centimetres. Close your eyes and hope for the best if you're that close. Piotr Lisek with his third and final attempt here at 5.75. Can the Polish athlete get here, progress in the competition? Yes, he can. Go on, Piotr Lisek. This man is building his consistency back up after a few years where he's been inconsistent on the circuit. He's actually got a new training partner this season, Piotr Lisek, Emmanuel Karalis of Greece. And Lisek was very gracious, said he's really enjoyed having Karalis alongside him, said it's reminded him of what he was like as a young athlete. It's given him that hunger back, that excitement. And I think, for me, there's been newfound consistency from Lisek, and I would have been really upset to see him eliminated here in the competition. But 5.75, third time. So Curtis Marshall up next. He wasn't allowed to come and watch Nina Kennedy in the women's final. His team saying, no, you've got to stay at home and rest. There's no way hanging out in this hot, steamy stadium is a good idea. And they actually FaceTimed him once the competition was finished, so he could say well done to Nina Kennedy in the stadium. I doubt she could hear him. There's lots of noise going on. That's a good clearance from Marshall. Significant to get first-time clearance at 5.85. He's got that one foul from 5.55. Not huge for Marshall, but good enough, big enough. I think that's a different pole than we saw Mondo Duplantis on the 5.55. I'm confused by that. I would have thought, no, it's okay. Just spotted the bit of pink further down. It is the same pole. It was close to the bar on the way up there, Duplantis. So he's been sitting down for a long, long time waiting to take this attempt. And sometimes that yields a failure when you come back into the competition. And Duplantis, it was so high. You can see the clearance at the top, at the high point. Just on a different planet, but he was close to it on the way up. You can see the closest there, 9 centimetres. Thibaut Collet up next. Final athlete to have his first attempt at 5.85. Frenchman's looked good throughout this competition. Oh! That is what the British athlete Holly Bradshaw likes to call a bit of bar love. Thibaut Collet getting all of that there. You don't want to get that well acquainted with a pole vault bar if you can help it. A new lifetime best for Thibaut Collet by, it's not even the finest margin, by no margin at all. Third and final attempt for last year's silver medalist. This is drama for Nilsson. He could have passed, he could have gone up to 5.90. Piotr Lisek made that decision. Nilsson deciding, committing to jumping on here at 5.85. And he gets it. He was cheering halfway over the bar. Apologies for any English speakers out there. They might have caught the lip reading there of Chris Nilsson, but that's what it means to this guy. There's already pressure on him now if he carries these 2 failures through to the higher heights, but at least he's over the closest point there, 4 centimetres. Once he started to drift away from the bar, Christopher Nilsson roared in delight.
The run's better now.
Solid, reproducible effort from Thibaut Collet. Let's hope he can carry it on here. Oh, wow. Wow. 5.90 for Thibaut Collet. Whew. That was a better clearance than the 5.85 where he wobbled the pole. Yeah, there's the emotion from Thibaut Collet. He was cool, he was calm. He was like, hang on a minute, what did I just do? Wonderful, wonderful vaulting from Thibaut Collet. We're already at the business end of this competition with 590. We're really here now at 595. I mentioned we had a chance to repeat the podium from last year. Duplantis, Nilsson from Obiena. First ever global medal won for the Philippines. Obiena, that's nice. And that's very good. He's going to need to be clean here at these heights. It's that one failure at 575. So close on the way up here, Obiena nearly touches it with his nose. It's the fourth best mark in the world this season. Duplantis top of the ranking, 6:12. Casey Lightfoot, the new American record, 6:07. Obiena on 6 meters, and this man, Curtis Marshall of Australia, 5:95. His first attempt at 5:95, but with a pass at the lower heights. This is his second life, and he gets it. Wow, wow, from Curtis Marshall. How cool and calm was that under pressure? He equals his new lifetime best set this season. Phew from Curtis Marshall. He goes on. Duplantis will vault next, then Nilsson, then Collet. It's been a long time since we saw Mondo Duplantis do his first time clearance at 5:85. So many jumps going on at 5:90. A lot of third attempts at 5:85. Duplantis rested well as he maintained his focus. Here he is, first attempt at 5:95. And yes, Mondo Duplantis is fine. He's saying, calm down, everybody. Yes, that's a significant clearance. And it was a good clearance, it was a high clearance, but Duplantis will know it's not time to celebrate yet. Nilsson up next. He's in 5th place overall at the moment. Really needs a clearance here at 5:95, and he gets it. Yes. Chris Nilsson, well done. He seems to have regathered his spirits, his emotions, protected enough energy after those 3 attempts at 5:85. Cannot imagine the stress that was going through his body then. Bar now up at 6 meters. Special stat coming up for you if Mondo Duplantis does manage to hit another competition over 6 meters, and he does. That is the 50th time that Mondo Duplantis has exceeded 6 meters in a competition. What a special moment for the Swedish athlete. He owns every statistic out there. For a long time he was chasing Sergei Bubka's most jumps over 6 meters. He's done that. So Duplantis is back down and resting. He's in 1st place. Obiena up next to try and match his own Asian record. Second time clearance at 6 meters, equaling his own national record. Obiena, brilliant under pressure. He joins Mondo Duplantis with a 6-meter clearance. That puts him in the silver medal position. So, Thibaut Collet, look at him, he's off the back of the runway. He's so quick, the Frenchman. Can he convert this into a 6-meter jump? No.
But gosh, what a good day for him. That's really all you can ask for. And he's so young. I mean, he's got such a future in this sport.
Here, though, it's a third and final chance at 6 meters for Curtis Marshall. He is tied for bronze at the moment with Nilsson. Nilsson will jump after Marshall. Marshall was trying to peddle a change in the stands to Paul Burgess, and wonder if that sell went well, if the stands have moved. But Curtis Marshall trying to match his coach's personal best, trying to join the 6-meter club and put himself in the outright bronze medal position, and it's not to be.
Very good attempt, though. I mean, once you get up to, especially 6 meters for the men, you just have to perfect it so much. What he does really nicely is his invert is so clean. He gets back so well. And so, you know, he didn't clear that today, but that's obviously, I see him clearing that in the very near future.
So Nilsson asking for some crowd support. Third and final attempt for Chris Nilsson. If he fails this, he shares the bronze with Marshall. And it is going to be a shared bronze, so he continues his streak.
I was going to say, having the Australian and the American share medal is something that we can relate to.
You're a trendsetter. Trendsetter, Katie.
I mean, really, if we're going to say trendsetter, it would have been the high jumpers back in the Olympics.
Okay, fair enough. 6:05 at the bar height now. They're ready. They've removed the cone, and as John Obiena has secured himself a medal, another medal for the Philippines. He's already equaled his Asian record with 6 meters. This for a new Asian record and the chance to fight on with Mondo Duplantis.
Didn't like that one, and that could be for all kinds of reasons. When you get to this point in the competition, you are starting to get fatigued, but you are on your stiffest poles. And so if you're just the littlest bit off, it can really throw your momentum. It can really throw off your swing. And it's a lot of times safer to bail, but also sometimes you don't have a choice, because that's just, if you were a little off on your step and it kind of kicks your hips forward, you don't always have as much control over that as you'd like.
So, first failure to Obiena. Duplantis can go clear first time here. And that would put the pressure on Obiena, if it wasn't there already.
Yes, definitely.
And he does it! First time! First time.
He's just so good. He's so fast, and in the pole vault, you're just trying to create as much speed as possible and then transfer it as efficiently as possible, and he's so efficient. He doesn't lose energy anywhere in his jump. It's really incredible. And that, combined with the fact that he was jumping a technically good jump from the age of 6'8", he just has so many repetitions, and that's really how you get better in the pole vault, is just by repping it out over and over again.
And that's the first bit of emotional celebration I think we've seen from Duplantis. He punches the air there. It's a good clearance, nearly 10 centimetres in excess of the 6:05. But following on from that foul from Obiena, is this when we start to see Duplantis bring that emotion in?
I think so. I think going first attempt on a 6:05. So EJ, it looks like he might be passing, and it's going to be tough. I'm not saying he's not capable of doing it, but I think this is when Mondo knows that it's probably his.
So Obiena, he's passed his second attempt at 6'5", and the bar has gone up to 6'10". This mark would be third on the all-time list, behind just Mondo Duplantis and Sergei Bubka. Again from Obiena, it's a bit of a lack of commitment on the runway.
Yeah, it looked like he maybe didn't push out quite the same way, and again, in this sport, if you're not perfectly on and consistent, especially when you're getting to some of your stiffest poles, it can get a little dicey. So
first attempt at 6 meters and 10 centimeters for Mondo Duplantis. Has looked good so far.
Oh
there
my
he is.
goodness. Oh my goodness. But are we surprised? At this point, my goodness. Wow.
Now, I hadn't given much credence to Duplantis' defeat in Monaco. He was down in 4th place a few weeks ago.
Yes.
It didn't send any ripples out for me, and it doesn't tonight. But how can you explain you're coming 4th in the Diamond League, and yet here he is jumping his best?
Yes, I think no one was really worried, but as a vaulter, when you have an off day, it does affect you a little bit. And I had heard, and I haven't spoken with him to confirm this, but I had heard that he just blew through all his holes in Monaco. That is not a bad problem to have, but unfortunately, if you run out, your hips aren't going to be peaking. You're going to be blowing through, which is where you're moving through so fast, the pole can't catch up, and you hit it on the way up, and you see the pole kind of bounce backwards towards the back of the pit. There, I mean, you can land back on the track, and that's just something nobody wants to do.
Nobody wants to do at all. So Obiena, the clock is ticking way, way down. With the pass at 6:05, this is the final jump for Obiena to try and survive here in the competition.
Oh, that was a very good attempt. Very good attempt. I think he can be, knowing athletes, he'll probably be a little disappointed, because I think we all get disappointed when we end on a miss, but what a great day for him.
So Duplantis joins the other title defenders that we've had so far here in Budapest: Joshua Cheptegei, Soufiane El Bakkali, Grant Holloway, Ryan Krauser, Faith Kipyegon, Noah Lyles, Sharika Jackson, Yulimar Rojas, and the woman sat next to me, Katie Moon. It's a small but select group of athletes that have managed to defend their titles. Obiena lay on the bed for a while, but he will be delighted. So Mondo Duplantis, 2 attempts so far. The second was better than the first.
The entire stadium was clapping for him, and I'm sure all eyes will be on him for this final attempt.
So there is a slight pause in the action in the stadium. We've got a decathlon to go for the men and 2 4x1 relays, but at the moment, the entirety of this 35,000-seat stadium is focused on Mondo Duplantis. He's got a 3rd and final attempt at a world record. He's getting closer. Could he possibly treat us to another world record in a championship environment? Mondo Duplantis, 6:23. No, not this time.
That was better, but my goodness, what a day.
We've been spoiled so many times by a 3rd-time world record for Mondo Duplantis, but he is slightly, ever so slightly human.
Oh my gosh, yes. Barely. He's just, it's so awesome. It's so fun to watch him. He's so good for the sport.
They are doing sort of formal medal ceremonies out in the fan zone here in Budapest. It's it's almost a festival environment. It's got a big stage, there's bands playing. You're probably not aware, in the break in between the morning and the evening session, it's live bands there, and everyone's eating from food vans. So you get the best of both worlds, I think. You get your immediate moment here to pose with your medal and soak that up straight away, but then the traditional one out in a different environment. Brilliant silver for Ernest John Obiena. Let's have a look back at the final results for the men's pole vault. Another title awarded here at the 19th edition of the World Athletics Championships, and no surprises, it goes to the favourite Mondo Duplantis of Sweden with 6:10. Ernest John Obiena equalled his own Asian record, picking up their best ever finish at World Championships with 6 metres. It was a shared bronze for Curtis Marshall, the first time an Australian's been on the podium since 2009, equalling his personal best with 5:95. Chris Nilsson of the United States sharing that bronze with a season's best at 5:95 as well. Thibaut Collet inspired jumping for the Frenchman, but unfortunately just enough for 5th. Great to see a full 13 men here get a mark in the final of the men's pole vault.